And is there anyone else besides this gentleman? You, sir, you'll be next. Anyone after that second gentleman? Okay. This will be the last time that I ask. We will close it out after this gentleman speaks.
Oh, this gentleman is Thomas Wilson. I was elected as a tribal councilman, representing our Choctaw people in District 1. Like Connie says, I didn't come here to represent the Choctaw Nation, but I did come to represent somebody. And that somebody is probably a lot of your ancestors. A lot of the people that came over during the Trail of Tears, they're the ones that I come here to represent today. Because we were moved here against our will. We came here to sustain our lives, to build our families, just like your families have done, just like where you're at right now. We all started out someplace based on our ancestors, our grandparents, our great-grandparents. They raised us here. They taught us how to hunt and fish. You taught your grandchildren how to hunt and fish here in our waters in Southeast Oklahoma. Like I said, I don't come here to represent the Choctaw Nation as a whole. I'm a full-blooded Choctaw Indian. And my parents were brought here. My grandparents were here. And their parents were here. And those are the people that I'm representing. And those are the people that needed the water, sustained their lives, sustained us by the water that's here in Southeast Oklahoma. One time I went to Lawton, Oklahoma. I joked around here a lot. I went there and I saw this, she was a Comanche lady at the Indian Health Service hospital there. She said, "Oh, what are you doing out of the woods?" I said, "Oh, I just come to see what the people in the Dust Bowl are doing." Anyway, that's my opinion about who I'm representing. Our people, our ancestors, people that brought us here, the people that raised us. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Talk loud.
I am talking loud. Anyway, my name is Claude Sumner, and I'm from Hughes County, Oklahoma, where I grew up along a creek. And the creek, when I visited years later, a farmer had cut all the trees along the creek, and as I wandered by, the creek's water had gone underground. I have since studied water law under Professor Rarick. I can remember the story that he told in class that said water law was written at that time because it would force the aquifers to be depleted and the southeastern excess water would be forced to be moved back to the west. I can still remember that I was upset by that philosophy toward the law. If it's been rewritten, I have studied that. I have studied the treaties of the Choctaw Nation where our families were removed in 1830. I also studied by families allotments up in Hughes County and Cole County to the tune of about 2,400 acres, and they basically have been lost. I tried to study water, oil and gas. I just studied all the history of Oklahoma. I have a Caddo sister-in-law. I've been on the river in Texas trying to cut the trees out for a canoe trail to be called the Caddo Canoe Trail. When the Temple Inland clear cuts, going down the river of 37 miles taught me that clear cut causes erosion to fill the river. And you have to drag canoes or any water conveyance over lots of areas that have been eroded. I can remember studying the history of Choctaws when the railroads came in, and the coal mines were sold, forced to be sold, and timberland was forced to be sold. So I have nothing against timber companies, but I did study that in the Temple Inland, which is a billionaire in Texas, he gathered that resource, sold it recently according to the internet. But what international paper and other companies that came into southeastern Oklahoma and need the water and provide jobs, my look at it is the tribe really never had a chance to, at this point, develop those same resources. So that at some point they were forced to be sold, and chances never had been offered. When my ancestors came, they also moved up into Hughes County and developed allotment land. It is gone. We don't have a chance to develop those items. And water is one of the most precious assets of the world. I have studied it on the water claims in Idaho, the irrigation, the Colorado sale of water all the way down to the Gulf of California, the New Mexico, the Winter's Doctrine in Montana. All those areas show that the state of Oklahoma has eastern water law and western water law. And all of the aquifers that are being depleted, was intended to allow us a pressure time such as this, when the plan that we have in our hands says we're going to make a decision that appears to be a plan to work toward some water law. But when some of us from the Muskogee Creek Nation, where I work, and I'm not representing the nation, and I'm not representing the Choctaws, I'm representing myself because I have a last point to make. And that is that in those days, we went to Muskogee, we went to Tulsa, we went to other meetings, and when we gathered, if anyone knew that we were from the tribes in the second session, they were gone. We were sitting by ourselves. It happened enough that we realized we're not going to ever be heard, so we never attended. That answers one question. Second question is, I've attended a lot of things on behalf of Chief Ellis, who's the chief of the Muskogee Creek Nation. I'm his executive director. And we always get told by him, when the state wishes to discuss with the nation, I want to negotiate, I want to do the consultation that has been changed and accepted that word in the last meetings that I've attended. So as I come 167 miles today, it's basically to say that expectation is still there. And I've watched closely the Senate, the House, and the state governor, and I have seen no movement in that direction. But when the opportunity came to speak this morning, it was mainly to say we are still waiting in the Creek Nation. Thank you.